say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Jamari Tyson.
Hello, fellow graduates, parents, faculty, and guests. My name is Jamari Tyson, and I am honored to be a part of the Wake Early College of Health and Sciences class of 2020. It seems so long ago that I opened my email and saw that I had been accepted as a student at a high school with so many opportunities available. The chance to graduate with an associate degree in high school diploma? Mind-blowing. Guaranteed job shadowing and volunteer positions? Couldn't beat that. But I'm going to let everyone in here on a little secret of mine. I almost declined my seat. I almost said no to one of the greatest experiences in my life. Why? Because I was afraid. I was afraid to leave all the friends I had made in middle school behind. I was afraid that I would regret my decisions in the future. I was afraid of the unknown. Now, fast forward from 2016 to 2020, none of us have the choice to decide whether to stay or go. We must venture into the unknown. We have to learn to navigate the waters of adulthood. Each of us has their own personal journey to craft and make our own. For some, this may be jumping into the workforce. For others, it may be continuing their education elsewhere. Wherever any of us decides to go, we're still going to be braving new waters. I have a piece of advice for my fellow graduates. Don't be afraid to dive straight in. My experiences in middle school prepared me for the challenge of going to a new high school. This is why I'm confident enough right now to tell you to be bold. We've all been preparing for this day since we've set foot into the lounge on PHS one very early morning. Every class we took was a stepping stone toward being prepared. Remember special interest seminar? That taught us the value of conversation and how powerful it is not only to understand each other, but the happenings of the world. Earth science and chemistry? Yeah, that taught us how to be intellectually curious. It taught us not to be satisfied with just the whys, but also the hows. We can't forget Spanish 1 and 2 with Senora Piner. Repeat after me, clase. Caracas, Venezuela. Bogota, Colombia. Quito, Ecuador. Lima, Peru. La Paz, Bolivia. Asunción, Paraguay. Santiago, Chile. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Montevideo, Uruguay. Brasilia, Brazil. Yeah, you all remember that. That was a small part of a class that taught us to become culturally aware. That way, we would become more knowledgeable about the Hispanic culture from around the world, as well as connect us with the Hispanic community within the United States. So many classes we took as freshmen and sophomores prepared us for adulthood and the next phase of the WEX Way journey. The next step was North Campus. The college environment we all wanted by the end of our time at PHS. The opportunity to study and learn on this campus was unique because it exposed us to the adult life while also having a safety net to catch us if we fell. Here, we experienced some of the greatest challenges of the past 4 years. You know what I mean. Scrambling to ILCs, the Real Center, and professors' office hours to get that 6-page paper that we miraculously typed in 4 hours. The pure terror some of us felt when looking at the first page of a chemistry test. Going online and trying to complete WebAssign before that 11:59 deadline. Good times, right? Even though our senior year got cut short, we still experience a good chunk of what college life is like. That is an advantage WEX has on so many other schools. When we leave here today, reflect on your greatest moments and actions over the past few years. Think about events that had you thinking about what you wanted to be or what do you want to do. Remember times where you were the happiest and the most sad. Recall the major events that shaped you over the past few years. These are what have prepared you to leave. The memories and skills acquired, no matter how large or how small, will guide you in the days to come. They will tell you which classes to take next semester. They will tell you if the job opportunity is the right fit based on your strengths and weaknesses. Along with everything that has happened at WIX, make sure to think about the people who made you who you are and strive to be like them. Strive to make a mark upon this world exactly like them. If everyone could think back and reminisce about the precious moments of learning with our teachers. These are the people who nurtured you and believed in you. Their time and dedication went into ensuring that you would have something that you can never be taken away from you, your education. As a member of the class of 2020, I thank you teachers for all that you have done. We will all strive to make an impact on future generations the same way that you've made an impact upon us. Now turn and look at your families. Through every rough day and bad night, they have been supporting you so that you can make it to this day, the day of rejoice. As a member of the class of 2020, I would like to say thank you, family members, for all your love and support you've given. We wouldn't be the same people without you in our lives. Finally, I would like all 2020 graduates to think about the people you used to spend your days with, the people who are with you every second in class and outside of it. These are the friends who have been by your side for the past 4 years. Even though you might be heading in separate directions, that doesn't mean you have to say goodbye, merely farewell or see you soon. Maybe meet up at an IHOP. As a member of the class of 2020, I would like to thank you all for being my friends. I won't forget any one of you. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Anushka Mandalapu.
Good evening, class of 2020, friends, family, and beloved faculty. The past 4, and for some, 5 years have been quite an experience, especially our senior year. I don't think any of us could have predicted our last year of high school would consist of sitting at home in our pajamas and video calling our Wake Tech professors. We missed a ton of lasts that we've looked forward to for the past years. Our last day of physical class, our last prom, our last spring break trip, and some more. But we shouldn't forget the little things that made us into the family we are today. The last time we snapped our fingers instead of clapping in Miss Christensen's class, and how some of us still do that, just by force of habit. The last time Dr. Colbert told us we were the way we were as freshmen, solely because of our parents, nothing else. The last time we recited Se equivocó la paloma in Miss Piner's Spanish class. The last time we got let out for recess together. Oh, oops, I meant combined lunch. We were told on the first day of high school that WEX was one big family. None of us believed it then, but now, after we've experienced all of these little things together, side by side, I can't think of a better way to describe us all other than a family. And then, after 2 years of being in one hallway, we came to North Campus and were handed a type of freedom that only foosball tables and food trucks could give us. But it was different now. After being in one hallway for 2 years, having the same teachers and the same schedules, North Campus separated a lot of us. We had different classes, and our days looked completely different. However, we were still able to come back to our safety net of trusted friends and faculty, our WEX family. After a rough class, sitting in Miss Farrow's room and having a short conversation was something a lot of us began to rely on. But now that high school has come to a close, what happens now? That safety net is being dragged out from under us. Mr. Andrew Bernard from my favorite TV show, The Office, once said, "I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them." When Andy said that line with tears in his eyes, I knew what he meant. I knew exactly how we felt. How exactly are we, the class of 2020, going to make the next stage of our lives even better than the last and deal with the new changes we will face without each other? We need to live every day like it's a good old day. We'll never be able to predict what our future holds for us. Take this year, for example. Every obstacle we maneuver around, every downfall, and every success, we need to achieve like it's a cherished memory. because odds are we'll miss it someday. We need to move on to every chapter of our lives with confidence, grace, and high spirits. The good old days won't end unless we want them to. Though this last chapter of ours was cut a little short, we are ready for the next chapter of our lives, and we're going to make it a great chapter. Every moment we spend being anxious or scared about the next stage of our lives is another moment we could be making a fond memory and living our best lives. So, friends, family, and class of 2020, here's to the good old days. It is now my pleasure to introduce Miss Lisa Cummings, Principal.
Camera rolling.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Wake Early College of Health and Sciences virtual commencement for the class of 2020. I'm the principal, Lisa Cummings. Wake Early College of Health and Sciences is a Wake County public high school that is also an early college in partnership with the Wake Technical Community College and the Wake Med Health and Hospitals. To be successful at Wake Early College, lovingly referred to as WEX, is a commitment of not only the student, but of the families, friends, and community. As I've said before, and I'll say over and over, thank you, families, for trusting me with your children for the past 4 or 5 years and supporting them during this time. The frontline heavy lifters getting these students ready for and through college classes are the members of our faculty and staff. Would the Wake Early College faculty and staff watching this at home please stand at this time and be recognized? Also on our team, helping students to decide that they really don't want to all become cardiothoracic surgeons while helping them explore health science options in pursuit of that associate's degree, are the faculty and staff of Wake Technical Community College and Wake Med Health and Hospitals. Will these wonderful partners watching from home please stand at this time and be recognized? As a North Carolina cooperative innovative high school, we must also thank the legislators for continuing to fund our school. Without your continued funding, this school, these results, and this impact on society could not happen to the extent it will as a result of our program. Before we begin our recognition, I will say a few words about this great class of students. However, before that, I must remind you of the expectations for our ceremony this afternoon. As our Dean, Ms. LaChance, reads each graduate's name, she will also read their next steps information in order to hear that very important information each student has worked so hard to achieve. I need everyone to hold their applause until the end. I understand how excited you are, so if you just can't hold it in, feel free to snap, as we learned in freshman seminar, or really go out with some jazz hands. Again, it's important that this information is heard by everyone, and I appreciate your compliance with my request. I realize this request doesn't apply in this setting, but I just had to say it. Unless you're participating in a virtual watch party, then it would apply. Also this afternoon, in a normal setting, the graduates would receive their high school diploma and the application essay written when applying to WEX. These serve as a sweet reminder of why each graduate decided to embark on the early college journey 4 or 5 years ago. We can't send these virtually, but are making arrangements to get these items to you soon. Prior to each graduation ceremony, I always take time to review the graduates' application essays once again and reflect on the amazing young folks sitting in front of me. Each class has its own personality and bragging rights, and this one is no different. While this class is our largest graduating class yet, with the highest percentage of Wake Tech degrees earned, what really makes this class unique from the 8 prior classes I've sent across this stage is their quiet, mostly, persistence and grace. In just about every application essay, the students spoke of their service to family and community in a humble and honest voice. These students came to us with a strong sense of purpose while also recognizing the powerful impact of being gracefully persistent. That, my WEX families, is a trait you have taught them well, and we are forever thankful. Give yourself a pat on the back. When they arrived at WEX, the mostly quiet and graceful persistence didn't fade. In terms of serving the community, just the Key Club and National Honor Society alone have logged almost 8,000 hours of service. This is an average of over 100 hours per graduate. This doesn't include all the other service projects and Wake Med volunteer hours logged by this amazing group of graduates. Many of our graduates are bound for a career in healthcare, and as I'm sure we can all agree, each time we have our blood drawn, or see a doctor, or need to speak to emergency services, as much as it is a business of health and science, healthcare is a business of people, and I can assure you this group is ready. They will gracefully persist that their patients take the correct course of action with a genuinely sweet smile on their face during the entire process. The class of 2020 is an accomplished graduating class, and now I'll share an update of what they've been doing while here. In this class presented before you today, we have 81 graduates, 53 seniors, 28 super seniors, 21 Associate of Art degrees, and 52 Associate of Science degrees. 91% of the students graduating are graduating with an AA or an AS degree. 100% of the students will graduate with some college credit. 10 are graduating with Certified Nurse Aide Certificate, 7 are graduating with Phlebotomy Certificate, 6 are graduating with Emergency Medical Technician Certificate, and 1 student is graduating with a Health and Fitness Certificate. 24 seniors are choosing to graduate in 2021. Other accomplishments. In addition to the 2 years of free college credit that you have while here, the total reported merit-based scholarship offered as of yesterday is $1.4 million. At least 3 students received full room and board and tuition scholarships to UNC Charlotte, Florida Atlantic University, and the Eastern Connecticut State University. The post-secondary plans, according to the senior survey, are 88% of students are planning on enrolling in a 4-year college immediately after high school graduation, 8% will plan to continue at Wake Tech, and 2 students are going to go straight to work. So where are they going? 3 to Appalachian State, 3 to Campbell University, 11 to East Carolina University, 2 to Meredith, 10 to North Carolina State University, 13 to University of North Carolina Chapel Hill, 6 to University of North Carolina at Charlotte, 3 to University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and 7 are going to continue on at Wake Tech. Then we have 1 each going to Clemson University, Eastern Connecticut State University, Elizabeth City State University, Florida Atlantic University, George Mason University, Hawaii Pacific University, Howard University, North Carolina A&T, Queen's University, University of Notre Dame, University of Pennsylvania. WEG's class of 2020. You impressed me even before you entered our doors, and it hasn't changed. Your experience during this pandemic is like nothing any of us have known. During this time, we have used the terms grace and generosity as we reflect on our work in the school district. You exuded grace and generosity from the minute I met you in summer camp. This class didn't need a pandemic to prove that. However, this time has made you stronger and made me realize just how strong you are as individuals and as a group. As you move on to your next steps, don't forget this experience and the power of grace, generosity, and quiet persistence. Your impact is significant already. We look forward to hearing about your work and your continued greatness. I am proud of you and proud to have been your high school principal. I miss you, and I'm sorry your senior year didn't go as planned. But now you're going off into the world, and you are ready. At this time, we would prepare to have you walk across the stage to award the diplomas. It saddens me greatly that I don't get to watch you walk across the stage as your name is called. Shake your hand you your well-earned diploma, and remind you to smile for the photographer behind me. However, as I read this, I'm thinking of each of you, and I am so proud. Now for the last part of my speech. Wake County Public Schools Board of Education, I certify that the class of 2020 graduates have met all of the state and local graduation requirements. And now our Dean of Students, Ms. Lassance, will read the graduates' names and next steps.
Kurumi Adachi. Kurumi plans to attend the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill and major in biomedical engineering. She plans to become a biomedical engineer. Talal Ziad Afifi. Talal will be attending East Carolina University and will be exploring educational opportunities before choosing a major. Cameron Kiebyeb Agner. Cameron plans to major in business with a concentration in marketing at East Carolina University. Her future goal is to become a lawyer. Grace Abangbi. Grace attends the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. She plans to work in the medical field. Chelsea Amaka Akabueze. Chelsea will be attending the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and plans to become a thoracic surgeon. Saida Hafsa Ali. Hafsa plans to attend Campbell University to study pre-med. Her future goal is to become a physician. Cindy Celine Argueta. Cindy will be studying genetics at North Carolina State University. Her future goal is to become a pediatrician. Johanna Argueta Cabrera. Johanna will be attending North Carolina State University and will be studying industrial engineering. Her future goal is to become a consultant. Kayla Armstrong. Kayla will be majoring in biology at Howard University with a future goal to study medicine. Hala Khaled Bamye. Hala will be attending the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill and will be studying public health. Her future goal is to become a dentist. Anna Lisa Bell. Anna will be attending East Carolina University and will be majoring in psychology. Her future goal is to become a clinical psychologist. Jennifer Marlon Caceres Garcia. Jennifer will be majoring in public health at Appalachian State University. Her future goal is to become a researcher in community health. Nicole Tamara Castillo. Nicole will be attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and will major in biomedical engineering. Her future goal is to research medical technology. Joanna Abigail Colindres. Joanna will be majoring in business administration at North Carolina State University. Her future goal is to own a Chick-fil-A. Caleb Jefferson Constable. Caleb will be attending the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill and will be majoring in business administration. His future goal is to become a management consultant. Sarah Ellen Davis. Sarah will be majoring in nursing at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Tiffany Ding. Tiffany has been teaching English in Taiwan since January and plans to attend college in the fall. Tanner Jacob Edwards. Tanner's future goal is to become an entrepreneur. Tanner will be majoring in business at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Diana Yvette Fajardo Nolasco. Diana will be majoring in biochemistry at the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Her future goal is to become a dentist. Destiny Soraya Ferrara. Destiny will be attending Meredith College in the fall with a major in biology. She plans to become a pediatrician. Luis Flores Gomez. Luis will be majoring in biochemistry with a minor in French and a concentration in genetics at Eastern Connecticut State University. His future goal is to become a neurologist. Oluwamiwa Udeji Falarin. Wiwa will be majoring in neuroscience at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill and plans to become a neurosurgeon. Joseph Michael Gibbs. Joseph will be attending Elizabeth City State University with a major in unmanned aircraft systems. He plans to own his own business in drone technology. Katarina Rose Hamilton. Katarina has been attending North Carolina State University since January, majoring in animal science. She plans to open up her own cattle farm and an animal boarding business. Jennifer Hernandez. Jennifer will continue at Wake Technical Community College, majoring in nursing. Camille Nishe High. Camille will be majoring in psychology at East Carolina University. She plans to become a psychiatrist. Alexandria Mercedes Hill. Alexandria will be attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, majoring in biochemistry with a minor in Spanish. Alex plans to become an anesthesiologist. Lauren Ashley Hill. Lauren will be majoring in forensic science and biology at George Mason University and plans to become a forensic pathologist. Tanya Ziad Hilou. Tanya will be majoring in public health at East Carolina University, and she plans to become a physician's assistant. Nancy Chizoram Emo. Nancy will be attending East Carolina University and will be majoring in biology with a future goal to work in orthopedics. Arlette Jaimes Chavez. Arlette will be studying automotive business technology at Wake Technical Community College. She plans on owning her own business. Joshua Abraham John. Joshua will be attending North Carolina State University and will major in biomedical engineering. Joshua plans to become a physician. Bergen Harrington Johnson. Bergen will be majoring in nursing at the University of Pennsylvania. Her future goal is to become a nurse practitioner. Nganasa Wangoi Kagwe. Koe will be attending East Carolina University in the fall and will be majoring in public health. She plans to become a dentist. Imara Lizette Renee Kearney. Amara will be majoring in biology at East Carolina University. She plans to become a surgical oncologist. Thomas William Kiefer. Thomas' plans are to major in cybersecurity and will be continuing at Wake Technical Community College in the fall. Lori Chungbin Ko. Lori will be attending the University of Notre Dame with a major in political science. Lori plans to become a congresswoman. Asma Labidi. Asma will major in biology and business at Meredith College. She plans to become a neurosurgeon. Mackenzie Nicole Langston. Mackenzie will be taking a gap year to work and travel. Her future goal is to be a dental hygienist. Zachary Francis Lauer. Zachary plans to complete the associate degree and research career opportunities. Antonio Ray Lopez Lazo. Antonio plans to attend the University of North Carolina, Charlotte with a major in either psychology or entrepreneurial business. Ansley Dubé Majors. Ansley will be majoring in nursing at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. Her future goal is to become a nurse practitioner. Anushka Sai Mandalapu. Anushka will be majoring in neuroscience at Florida Atlantic University with assured admission into Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. Her plan is to become a medical doctor. Diage Ajane Manning. Diage will be attending Virginia State University with a major in biology. Her future goal is to work in pediatric radiology. Abigail Martinez. Abigail will be majoring in nursing at East Carolina University. Her future goal is to earn a master's in nursing. Nala Amira McDougall. Nala will be attending North Carolina Central University with a major in political science. Her future goal is to become a corporate attorney. Kashmir Nicole Mitchell. Kashmir will be majoring in biology at North Carolina Central University. Her future goal is to become a forensic pathologist. Mohammed Modar Mohammed. Mohammed will be majoring in business administration at North Carolina Central University. He plans to become a business analyst. Abel Kioru Mangare. Abel will be continuing at Wake Technical Community College to major in nursing. His future goal is to become a nurse practitioner. Nabil Mohammed Nasruddin. Nabil will be majoring in public health at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. His future goal is to become an optometrist. Juliana Kaylin Nahila. Juliana will be majoring in elementary education at North Carolina State University. She plans to become a teacher. Olivia Mae Nelson. Olivia will be attending Queen's University of Charlotte and will be studying multimedia storytelling. She plans to have a career in videography. Jordan Andrew Wen. Jordan will be majoring in biology at Hawaii Pacific University. He plans to become a physician. Mia Nancy Nicolaisen. Mia will be studying International or Communication Studies at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Menatala Omar. Mena will be attending North Carolina Central University with a major in psychology. Ikechuka Dominic Anoa. Ike will be attending either North Carolina A&T or East Carolina University with a major in finance. Madeline Joan O'Reilly. Madeline will be attending the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill and will major in neuroscience. Her future goal is to work in medicine. Hannah de los Santos Pill. Hannah will be majoring in biochemistry at North Carolina State University. Hannah plans to become a healthcare scientist. Haley Marie Harung. Haley will continue to work and research future career opportunities. Luis Rivera. Luis plans to go to medical school in the future and he will be attending university. Alma Delia Rodriguez Medina. Alma will be majoring in communications at North Carolina State University. She plans to work in media marketing. Tu Roma. Tu will continue to work and research future career opportunities. Kaylee Melissa Segrero. Kaylee will be attending East Carolina University with a major in biology and a minor in forensic science. She plans to become a dermatologist. Elia Stephanie Salazar Hernandez. Elia will major in business administration at Wake Technical Community College. She plans to become a manager. Olivia Marlene Salas. Olivia will be majoring in nutrition at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She plans to become an orthopedic surgeon. Charlia Krishana Brielle Sanders. Charlia will be attending Wake Technical Community College to become an optician's assistant. Netta Safe. Netta will be pursuing the Exploratory Studies program at North Carolina State University. Hollis May Selden. Hollis will be attending university in the fall. Her future goal is to earn a doctorate in microbiology. Pooja Devang Shah. Pooja will be studying biomedical engineering at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Madiha Siddiqui. Madiha will be attending the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill with a major in biology. She plans to become an ER physician. Jasmine Jashai Taft. Jasmine will be majoring in political science and will be minoring in both pre-law and criminal justice at Campbell University. She plans to become a lawyer and an elected official. Alexis Catherine Thomas. Alexis will be attending Clemson University with a major in secondary education. She plans to teach high school history. Sarah Nicole Torres Santoyo. Sarah will be majoring in animal science at North Carolina State University. She plans to become a veterinarian. William Henry Toussaint. William will continue working and research future career opportunities. Julia Elise Townsend. Julia will be attending Appalachian State University with a major in sustainable agriculture. She plans to become a farmer. Allison Wefuetu. Allison will be majoring in biology at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She plans to become a pediatrician. Diana Tutungju. Diana will be attending Appalachian State University with a major in nursing. She plans to work as a registered nurse in a NICU or maternity ward. Jamari Levon Tyson. Jamari will be attending the University of North Carolina, Charlotte as a Levine Scholar and will be double majoring in public health and biology. He plans to become a physician. Natalie Anita Walls. Natalie will be earning the Associate in Applied Arts in Emergency Medical Science at Wake Technical Community College. She plans to work as a paramedic. Jesse D. Way. Jesse will be attending the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill with a future goal of becoming a mathematics professor. Alexander Zambrano. Alex will be attending Campbell University with a major in the sciences.
Hello, I am Kathy Moore, Superintendent of the Wake County Public School System. It is with great honor and yet dismay that I bring you greetings as a part of this virtual celebration. More than anything, I know that you want to see each other, to congratulate and celebrate together. Graduations are a time to cry and hug while we celebrate. I personally enjoy seeing those smiles of deep personal satisfaction. But of course, this is not possible. And while the superintendent does not usually speak at graduations, I do want to offer my sincerest congratulations and a few brief thoughts about the months and years ahead. I want you to know that despite the effects of COVID-19, this coronavirus will not define the class of 2020. The class of 2020 had already defined itself in the classroom, on playing fields, and in countless expressions of art. It defined itself by its caring and compassionate support of others in the community. I am sure that many of you can see the irony of this moment in time. As graduating seniors, you realize COVID-19 is not only a common adversity that brings us together, it also highlights the differences among us. This has allowed you to learn a lesson unlike any other graduating class, a lesson about the value and power of empathy, compassion, and grace. You have no doubt been the recipient and the benefactor of these acts of kindness. I ask that you remember these lessons. They will serve you a lifetime. They will make you a better person. They will help distinguish you, the class of 2020, in ways that can truly change our world. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. We are so proud of you. You are not only been remarkable students, but you're remarkable student leaders. Years ago, when you chose to take a different path, that showed leadership to do something that others don't. You had to finish in ways that no one could have ever imagined. And look at you now. You've succeeded, you've moved on, you've been resilient, you've been gritty, you've been talented, you've been everything you expect from just remarkable students and leaders. And we are so proud of you at Wake Tech. We hope to see more of you here next year. We know wherever you go, you're going to be successful. So congratulations, we are very proud of you.
Congratulations, class of 2020. We have finally made it to graduation. I know that for many of us, high school felt as if it would never end, especially with the seemingly infinite amounts of assignments, the all-nighters, and the tears that accompanied it. Now, it seems like all our experiences and memories made during our time here pass by so fast, as if it all happened in a blink of an eye. As incoming freshmen, most of us walked into PHS not knowing anybody, a bit apprehensive of joining a new community. However, throughout our time at WEX, we were exposed to such a wide variety of faculty and students from different backgrounds. Our contrasting lifestyles and cultures, and the stories that came along with them, enlightened us. Teachers accepted us for who we were and showed an interest in learning about us outside of the classroom. That interest, as well as the care we showed one another, created inclusivity. Our peers strived to create morale, and the staff were always ready and open to answer our most quirkiest questions to our deepest concerns, as well as encourage and reassure us. Our partners, Wake Tech and Wake Med, have also helped us to pursue our educational and career aspirations. Not only were we able to pursue our ambitions, we were able to grow and broaden our understanding of others through words of comfort, advice, and acknowledgement of our efforts. Vincent van Gogh once said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." Each one of us here tonight have been impacted by the honest and non-judgmental way that many have spoken truth into our lives, and the seemingly small acts of kindness and inclusion of each other. Devotion and hard work not only apply to our performance in class, but also to the relationships that we built with each other at WEX. I encourage you to extend that kindness and to devote yourselves to your passions during your college career, just as you have done here. I know that we'll be forever grateful and proud of the precious time and opportunities that we were able to spend and that we were given at WEX. Thank you. Will the class of 2020 please stand for the turning of the tassels?
By the authority vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Wake County Board of Education, I pronounce you graduates of Wake Early College of Health and Sciences. Class of 2020, turn your tassels. Congratulations.